Hi there. Hello? Nope. Ah. There we go. There we go. Hi everyone. Welcome in. Hi, I'm Chef Jay Tay. Happy to see you back. Everything's different. I've changed everything, nothing works. I was late to start stream. But we're here. And I'm hearing an echo of myself somehow. Like a really delayed echo. Where is that coming from? Thank you, Will. Greatly appreciate the resub. Is anyone else hearing this echo, or is it just me? I think it might be just me, which I can live with. Like, it's not my normal... You do not hear a mic echo? Thank you, Will. Super choppy. Let's see. Stats. Oh, let's hope that clears up. Lots of packet loss. I do not know why I'm having so much packet loss. Wish I could change that midstream. I can't change that midstream. There's one setting that I would change. I hope that will clear up here shortly, as I've changed all sorts of network stuff here. I have a feeling all sorts of things are going on as far as the network figuring out what's going on. It does seem to be smoothing out a bit, but yeah. There's a fair amount of network, not my network, but maybe figuring out what my network is doing. I'm probably royally confusing my ISP right now, but that's partly the point. I don't want them tracking me. Or anyone else, for that matter. At the same time, there may be some gremlins, and there always is gremlins when I do a major overhaul of all sorts of things. But it went pretty damn smooth. Even yesterday, I don't know why, but I chose till the last day to tear up my home network. Even that went pretty smooth. So figure it out, Internet, because I ain't changing it. This is all your fault. This ain't me. There's only one other potential setting I really could change. Hi, Soph. Welcome, Will. Thank you once again for that resub. Welcome in, JK. Hello, Mimic. Happy to see everyone. Hi, Nan Reader. Happy to see everyone back. I do apologize for the choppiness. It may be partly my fault due to changing the network stuff, but this morning's stream worked pretty well. We'll see if it smooths out over time here. Get over here, camera. I had a sort of short cutting glass stream today. Finishing up the last little things before I started soldering. And it was down to about an hour before, like I'd done 2 hours and it was into or just starting the third hour-ish. And I was like, I don't want to have to clean everything up and then do soldering on top. And so I just called it a day. Sunday I'm going to start right off with doing soldering. I pushed the wrong button. We were supposed to be using that button when we were making the coffee. That way I'm not showing off my ugly stove while I'm doing coffee. Oh, hey, you're not going to work very well if you're not plugged in. You're probably not turned on if you're not plugged in either. Let's see, do you flash red when I plugged you in? There, that might work now. Oh, it complained at me. I don't know if it's going to work. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work or not. Let me see if it gave me an error down here in my notification window. Anyways. Hey there, welcome in. I tried buying meat from a different place than usual. We'll see how it turns out. I bought what they're advertising as hanger steak. It's got marbling like hanger steak. And the reason I went with it because it was even cheaper than the ribeye. I was going to pick up also a cheaper option, a smaller hunk of skirt, before I realized it was $1 more. And while I love ribeye, ribeye's a bit much for doing some tacos. That said, I still have a pound of hanger. But it's less than a ribeye. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Cheers. It's weird seeing two of me up there. Putting that out there. Weird. So, for those unaware or hadn't heard before, the reason I took the last 2 days off is there is now a vertical version of my stream going out to both Twitch and YouTube. So if you're watching on mobile, there is now a vertical version. And I've also added Kick. So take that, internet. I didn't know the hardest part of setting up the vertical was really like figuring out where I wanted to put the captions. Like, it doesn't really fit at the bottom with everything else because with my logo down here and on either side, they're sort of taking up space of the captions and they can't overlap, and so I put them on top in most of the cases. Alright, where do we start with things? I think we're going to start with jalapenos. Jalapenos. You know what? This is a good excuse to use up some of this. We have our gochujang butter from before. From previous stream. And cream cheese, we'll let those warm up while I prep jalapenos. I'm going to give these a rinse off. Oh, Alex, you are hearing it. Awesome, thank you. Actually, that might have been it. I think I solved it right now. But thank you for letting me know that, Alex. That was bugging me. I thought it was only me. I am having some network issues, Skeleton. I think everything on my end is working fine. Though I did just completely revamp my entire home network. So, yeah. What was the frozen pizza things? In the Discord I was mentioning during my break, it's a sort of dangerous thing to discover that the Warehouse Club has cheap French bread style pizzas. Which, if you've seen French bread pizzas, you know what I'm talking about. I don't really feel like showing off the brand or letting off, where I'm buying it from. But, like, they're like French bread sized pizzas, and you have two of them. You can stuff a whole bunch of stuff in they're like pizza sandwiches. They're great. That was like two of my meals when I was in between this break. I was just like, but if you picture, I can't even remember the brand that I used to always have. Was it Stouffer's? I think Stouffer's was it that does the French bread pizzas in most supermarkets. This is a different brand, but same thing. Like, almost identical. Probably the same factory. Oh, I was going to rinse these. I'm going to slice right through these. You can choose to just try and slice half of it if you want to. Like, you can just slice it open on one side and tear that out with your finger. Put it back together. Not worth the hassle for me. Welcome in, El Capitano. Did I say hi, Alex? Welcome, Alex. I forgot why I wanted to use a spoon to do this and not just tear it out with my finger, but that's why, so that I can sort of cut down and keep this intact as much as possible. Hey, Dragon. I am well, El Capitano. I've had a couple good days away from streaming. Although the few days that I had away from streaming, I spent them all at home rather than going out to a fancy restaurant or what have you. Hi, pizza! I'm not going to use this whole thing with this anyways. Am I going to use that much cream cheese for this? I think I can probably get away with half that. Looking at the Twitch feed, it's looking a bit rough. I shouldn't have put that in that bowl. That was the wrong bowl for this project. Maybe it was the right bowl. Excuse you. For those that haven't seen earlier, what you have there is gochujang compound butter. And that's cream cheese with it. Gochujang. The paste, not the flake. Not furikake. I think that's probably enough for those. We can throw you in here with... I had a bag for you. There you are. Should probably throw the other butter in here to keep it from dehydrating. And not parsley, but cilantro. I was astonished to see cilantro for under $1 a bunch. I mean, they're sort of micro bunches, but it's... And yes, I'm eating cilantro. Not eating any iceberg tonight, but we're eating some cilantro. Hello, Sensei. Irrational fear every time I eat a spaghetti noodle that there might be another man's... Yeah. 101 Dalmatians fan, huh? Garlic powder. Onion powder. Oh, maybe we'll leave it there. Beautiful bright orange from that Korean hot sauce. Alright, so we got our filling now. Maybe we can do that. This is still... I guess it's maybe workable. Maybe workable. Now here's my question to chat. Do you leave yours open faced, or you put them back together like a sandwich? Like if you leave them open faced and just batter them and fry them, I have assumption that most people probably buy these. But aside from that, you get a higher yield if you leave them half, and it's a little bit less spicier than taking out a whole jalapeno. If you're doing any more than I'm doing here, I would highly recommend picking up a box of disposable gloves. Just make your hands not ache. Like, you may not mind having the pepper juice on you while you're working on things, but it's one of those things where you don't think about it, and then 3-4 hours later, your hands, like, your hands are just aching, like, what, did I get old? Do I have arthritis already? Or what? No, it's because of the pepper juice. That makes sense, so yeah, it was on top of being smoky outside today. It was toasty again today. For those that are not in the Discord, there is a coastal fire here in Sonoma County, which I am in no danger of. It's out in the middle of nowhere, but at the same time, like they've evacuated like 350 people. Most of that are people that are like living in a state park and a county park, and anyways, it's smoky enough that, yeah, actually it seems to have improved a little bit. But I could very clearly see smoke outside when I went out shopping earlier, and I did wear I don't know if I have 95 or 100 masks. I think it's a 95 mask, just because of, yeah. I mean, if I'm going to pollute my lungs with smoke, I at least want something out of it. I'm still debating if I want to. I'm sort of leaning towards leaving those open now. Like, I didn't have a ton of filling where they're like overflowing and they're gonna fill up nicely. I like. I think we might leave those like that. We might leave these open. That's because of the commercial ones, they have a machine that's hollowing out the jalapenos and filling them up with a pastry bag. I don't have the luxuries of such fancy tools, though I could probably get most of it done with an apple core. Alright, we're going to leave those as is. Next, I think we're doing tortillas. I think it's tortilla time next. Easy reuse. Ribeye fat. Coffee break. Another sub. Thank you, Soph. working and smushing the bits of fat into the flour, or trying to crumble it as much as possible. You don't really want it to melt into the flour. It's still going to sort of disappear into the flour, but you want it combined, not absorbed. I've made absolutely no progress at getting my sink clean. You know, I feel like this is not enough dough for what I want to do tonight. Freezing? Not here. My county's on fire. Alright, we need more flour in this game. Yeah, that'll do. Any professional chef is probably like screaming at the screen, right? Put the poppers away. You're working on something else. No. Oh yeah, Blake, I've got some internet issues tonight. I'm sorry for that issue, but there's not much that can be done. That still needs a bit more water. I don't really want to develop the gluten in these so much as I just want to make sure they're nicely and well mixed and combined. Okay, I think I'm good enough there. We'll let that rest. Break that out. That'll be enough for a good 5-6 tortillas. Flour tortillas tonight. I made that decision. I'm actually doing tacos again on Tuesday or on Monday. Right? I'm reading. Let me look at the calendar here and double check. Oh, I guess I don't. Or maybe I have it somewhere else in the calendar? Oh, I have it on Friday. We're doing it on Friday then. I'm also changing what it is. So tacos 2 Fridays in a row. We'll have more tacos next Friday. Next Friday's tacos are going to be al pastor, and they're going to be using sweet potato tortillas. See how that works out. Try and make myself some orange tortillas. They're also a themed dinner. It's a whole themed dinner next Friday. You're fine just hanging out on... There's a distinct possibility that when I fry these, I might have to stick them together. I'm going to try doing them in halves. But if we do the first 2 of them in there and they just sort of dissolve into the oil, the rest are getting smooshed together. I'm going to do a wet batter for these. Sort of like a... I don't know if I want to put beer in. I don't know if I have beer in my fridge. But if I have beer in my fridge, we'll do a beer batter for them. If I have beer in my fridge, it's probably over 6 months old. Did you find it vain? Beef time. You can sear this whole. It'll show up nicely whole. I typically like cutting these in half. Let's see, that's just fat, I think. I think we're okay with that. And this is not a... You got a nice slice into it there that I didn't want. Thank you, butcher. But that'll be not the end of the world. We'll again let that sit back out because I'm getting ahead of myself dealing with the beef. Oh hey, that's for next Friday now. I bought this cabbage and now I'm not happy looking at the bottom of it after I got it home. Doesn't have a happy looking bottom. You want your cabbage to have a happy looking bottom. That's not looking very happy. So we'll chop up. I'm doing a little bit of almost a... why did I grab a sandwich bag? Doing almost a little bit of a salad here with our tacos. Almost like a slaw, but not a slaw. Doing a little cabbage. We'll see what I got for carrot in the fridge. A little herbage. A little oil. It'll be my substitute for adding some lettuce or greens on there. Why is that screen all the way over there? Silly. Silly vertical view. There we go, that's a little better. That is not what I wanted to do. No, there. That is what I wanted to do. There. That's back to normal. Okay. And then I just realized I just moved so you can't see what I'm actually doing. Now it won't let me move anything. What's wrong, camera? You just shut off. You're not working tonight anyways. Here, we'll just unplug you. You're not even working. I don't know why you're getting all warmed up. My hint for this word scramble is don't get antsy. Almost there. So what everyone think of the cutting board change? Do you like it better me keeping it with the stove when I'm not even doing anything over there? Or without? That's already a bit more than I anticipated. So I might just do herbs with this. Let's see. Yeah, I got some big honking carrots. I don't want to break up one of those just for this. I forgot I also have that other thing I was throwing on here. So I think I'm okay with that. Take a little bit more of the diarrhea herb. Well, I guess parsley and all fresh greens are in this madness that's going on right now. And a hefty dose of salt. We'll let those hang out, get to be friends. Lose a little of their moisture. We're trying to dehydrate the cabbage, not moisturize it. The salt will draw moisture out of the cabbage and the cilantro. Now we got that set. I'm also using up some other things tonight. We got the beef. I'm using up the butter from the other night. I'm also thinking I'm going to throw some of the chow chow on top of these tacos tonight. Because the corn, the peppers, the vinegar, that's all just deliciousness that's going to go great with this. It's tortilla time. Am I using you? You're a little dirty. Let's clean you up. Start warming that up. Wipe off our cutting board. Hey, Sniper. Welcome, welcome. Has the slideshow been playing properly? Nope, watch time don't work. Let's see something here. Let's try this. I guess I can't find it. I'm gonna have to look back after tonight's VOD and see. I have a suspicion the bot is not seeing a lot of stuff as far as normal because everything got screwed up with the network and everything. Well, the past slideshow isn't always supposed to be showing. It's only supposed to show up every now and then. It's got 1,000,001 triggers. It's actually got so many triggers that I have a cooldown built into it. But it's still not working. Yeah, let me see. What do I have on my bot for you? You don't spend a lot of sprinkles. According to my records, you haven't really spent any. Oh, we got lurkers that have been here since the beginning. That's good, because maybe one of these days I'll get to 2,000 followers, and I'll be able to do another giveaway. I still owe people from 1075, but for 1,750. But I think we're far enough past that I've just messed up that one. Giveaway? I've been doing giveaways about every 250 followers for Twitch gift cards, or it's sort of America only, just because I don't really have a lot of options for international viewers. But Amazon or Twitch gift card. Nice and hot over here for our first tortilla. You know what? I don't love the way that tortilla is shaped. That's a little more round. I didn't mean to drop that. You really need to be flipped. That wasn't as bad as I thought. So poutine fans, you're going to want to tune in on Sunday. Am I making poutine? No. We're celebrating Maine. Someone who doesn't know what poutine is? You must not be Canadian. I am not going to be doing lobster. I'm not going to be doing shellfish. A little pricey these days. I would love to have a proper lobster roll, but that is not in the plans for Sunday. My plans for Sunday are a mixed fry and a fluffer nutter. If you're unfamiliar with a mixed fry, I hadn't heard of it before today myself. It's more or less poutine, but they have less rules over how it has to be made. So you'll see wider range of oddities mixed into this dish. Two of the most well-known ones, apparently, from the state are one using Danish fries. I'm not 100% sure what they meant by Danish fries, but Danish fries with duck confit and normal mozzarella. There's another one that does curds, but with tater tots and pork belly. Pretty sure there's like a Poutine Crimes Reddit or something along that line. And most of these sound like they would be destroyed in that. So I'm not 100% sure what I am going to do for my mixed fry, but it's something like that. I had the pan too hot to start and I turned it down too much. It's not cooking them hot enough, quick enough. The big one for me that I think is different from poutine is I think a lot of people, poutine purists out there, are all about the curds with their poutine. It's gotta have curds, it's gotta have the good ones, it's gotta have that squeak, all that jazz. Meanwhile, mains are like, just throw some mozzarella in. And let's be honest, curds are almost always overpriced. It's almost like they keep them out of markets to make them a specialty, because like they're like building blocks for a lot of other stuff. They're sort of necessary in the cheese world. You sort of need curds. Like, it should be cheaper than cheddar. It's easier to make. You don't have to wait for it to be done. But no. We want to charge you twice as much for this. You know, as someone that's sort of an advocate for the food world, I should stop complaining about how people do things to make money. On the other hand, I'm royally tempted to just, like, destroy YouTube food people and be like, well, not all of them, but so many of them these days are just, like, putting out recipe like, yeah, this is my recipe. I'm like, no, you stole that from him, and him. Or her, him, and her. Not trying to be sexist about it. Like, I saw someone in the Creator Club for Twitch. I don't know who it was, and it doesn't really matter. Because they were doing delicious dinner. I'm sure it was amazing. But they billed it as Babish's meatloaf. And that just irked me. Like, what is he doing so special with his meatloaf? How is it his? I mean, the person in the Creator Club was just like, well, this was what I was doing, you know, and you can look up the recipe. And that's not, it's... By the way, Babish tried streaming. He couldn't hack it. He gave up after like 2 streams. I don't know, maybe he does it for Patreon or something silly like that, but... Those are cooking a little quicker now. I have turned that a little too far in the other direction now. Ugh, laundry. I don't even have to deal with other people's laundry, and I sort of feel like laundry is like the bane of my existence. Hurry up, laundry folding robot. Rosie the robot, where are you? Yeah, I basically don't do that part. Unless it's something I'm not wearing for like a month. I don't know if people have noticed. I don't know if you can really tell from the stream. You can't, I don't think. Unless you're like right over here. Can you even see if camera's not following me? Camera. See, can you even see that stuff? You can't even see it over here, can you? But those doors back there are my laundry. And my laundry, unless it's something... Socks and underwear get thrown together and thrown back in the proper place. But shirts, pants... Like, pants I'll just lay out over there. And the shirts I just hang up on I have hooks on my door. So all of my collared shirts, I just hook on the door. That's why this shirt's so wrinkly. I don't iron anything. Last tortilla going in the pan. Hi, Bowtie Fly. Were you the one with the delicious meatloaf? I was commenting on how I dislike how all these YouTube viewers are claiming ownership over recipes, like they've actually done anything to own them. They probably made them all of once in their life. Well, it looked delicious. I wasn't calling you out because you made bad-looking food. I was calling out Babish. Exactly, Chicken Song. Yeah, I like everyone's picks, but yeah, you made a nice meatloaf. Oh, I forgot I have to fry things. Order of operation plans. Huh. I think we're good with that one. That concludes our tortilla steering. I don't think we're going with the beef yet. I'm doing pretty good today, Bowtie. I need to make batter now. We don't even need a ton of batter, though. Oh, let's use a bigger bowl, though. I do have ancient beer. I have ancient forbidden beer because it doesn't exist anymore. Sort of. Oh, nope, you need to be actually pulled off. Nice! I need more flour. Let's use whole wheat. Oh, I guess I'm out. Yeah, that's right. I'm out of Worcestershire. I used the last of it. Salt. MSG. Let's see, what else do I want to mix into this? I guess we'll do an egg. I gotta use up eggs anyways. These are gonna go bad on me. Since 1896, and no more. Darn you, Sapporo. Destroying my favorite San Francisco beer brand. Trying to get this to smooth out a bit. Oil. That is a hot pan, even still. Maybe that's because the flame's still on underneath it. Oops. I ditched the oil. Did this have a clip on it? I don't see a clip hanging out, so. Given I bought the pork for next Friday's dinner, thinking it was going to be Monday, we're probably going to have pork either with the mixed fry or with Monday's dinner, whatever Monday's dinner is. I don't have plans in the calendar yet. I may not put plans in the calendar. Will you be disturbed if I don't put plans in the calendar? I know Sprinklebot will be. Let's hope I haven't missed anyone over on Kick tonight. Let's see if that's cleared up at all either. I doubt it has, because... Yeah, we're still laggy. Darn interwebs. I'm gonna move the oil. Don't do this, chat. Don't lift a hot pot of oil. Don't do what I'm doing. The reason I did that is I decided that I want to do the steak before frying. We can do the steak, we can let the steak rest, and we can do the frying while the steak is resting. But the steak's... So we're doing this first. I keep forgetting that pan is hot already. You do have to be careful if you're buying hanger steaks and you're not buying it from a good butcher, or you're just buying a hanger steak without paying much attention to it. Hanger steaks, there's typically only one hanger steak per cow. And it's sort of got two steaks that are together. And you'll see them sold either together or separated. It's sort of a pain in the butt to separate them if you're not big into cooking meat and butchering meat and you're not experienced cutting meat. It's basically a line of sinew going between those two layers of steak, or silver skin. You don't want that in your final steak. It's going to be chewy, it's going to be nasty. But otherwise, it's got just some of the most beautiful, most marbled, most delicious meat in the entire cow. I mean, look at the amount of fat and marbling in this, and this is a chuck, or this is a choice steak. That's not prime. I mean, that sort of... Where do you find that in another cut of... Other than maybe flank, you don't see any of that sort of layering of fat in beef like that. Unless you're buying something ridiculously expensive. This is a bigger piece, so it's going on first. Oops, we need some oil in that pan. Oil trying to make inappropriate designs in the pan. But to repeat from earlier, that piece, the piece that you're seeing there in the pan, has already been sliced off from its sister steak, and most or all of the silver skin is gone. Thank you, Bowtie. See if this is any good anymore. Ooh. I'm not going to drink that. It smells delicious, but it smells like it's a little strong. Normally, I used to really, really like Anchor Steam before they were gutted. But I don't do much beer anymore. I haven't been doing really hardly any drinking at all this year. I am planning on drinking next Friday. I probably can count on my fingers the number of times I've drank the rest of the times this year. No huge hatred of drinking. Like, I love me some bourbon. But, yeah. I used to drink beer. I've never been a huge beer guy. I'm much more wine, mixed drinks. Odd wines, like, I like port quite a bit. You stopped eating pork. Pork's delicious. It tastes like human. Yeah, beef is getting pricey right now. Especially if you're in the US. Hi, Soph. I am in wine country, California. Sonoma. Where we actually make all of the wine, and then Napa takes all the credit. Just kidding. Napa does quite a bit of their own wine. Man, that egg yolk that's right on that color that's part of my new background back here. Maybe we'll do a quick Discord dump here while we're waiting on the oil to get up to proper temp. Sorry, it hurts your view, but it's better for the rest. Nice. Yeah, JK just posted some lovely photos in Discord of his recent trip to Napa. Come on. There we go. Yeah, fancy photos from French Laundry in our main chat. Thanks, JK. Appreciate that. We got other shared food photos. You got Saucy with abundance of cucumbers. Steak from bakery. Ozzy loves showing us his beans. Meatballs. Eggs and avocado. Let's see, what else do we have to hype? We have the Wednesday ingredient challenge going on for next week between Rice and Frank's Red Hot. Pretty close vote right now. Looking nice there. And then catching up on what I've been doing with cutting glass, I have been making this background for back here. The stained glass work is all on cutting_glass. How we doing temp-wise over here? We warmed up yet? 280s. Getting close, getting close. I'm going to start soldering on that Sunday morning. I do cutting glass streams from 10 to 1, typically before streams here. That's Pacific time zone, 10 to 1 in the morning to early afternoon. Or 1 to 4 if you're on the East Coast. But this morning I finished cutting that piece there, because both of these pieces either didn't fit properly, or I think this one here broke. One of them broke. And I fit up a few other things lower on the piece. Cleaned up a few pieces. Got all situated for starting soldering. Wish I could have actually started soldering today, but I got towards about 2 hours into stream. I'm only doing about an hour more, and it's like, I already have all of this. I already have the grinder to clean up. I have this all the tape to set up, and it's just like Sunday. We warm yet? We're getting close enough that I think we can give this a shot here soon. Give that a quick stir. And let's go in with our first one to see if these will actually just fry up just as is, or if I gotta squeeze them back together. No, we're still only 330-ish. We need another 25 degrees. I'm sure the camera loves that bouncing liquid. Interesting. I'm refreshing my network stats, and it seems like it's very much bouncing in and out. Like something is I don't like this to my signal. Alright, let's give these first halves a shot. Keep in mind I'm using whole wheat flour for this. So they're going to be a little bit darker brown from the flour. And I do think they have survived. I think you're right, Soph. I think they have made it through. But now that those two have been successfully done, and we know that the heat can take it, we're going in with the rest of them here. They're just refusing to get on the other side because they got a bubble on top. That one bled out. And then slicing this for taco meat against the grain like always. Beef. Off. Start layering our fresh made tortillas. I guess I'll use a fork for this. Number one thing found in food, or at least used to be. These and zip ties. Or not zip ties, but still trying to think of the proper term for it. You can see that salted, I don't know, you can't really see that on camera or not, but the cabbage on the bottom that had been sitting there salted is actually a bit brighter than it was on the top. This just, if you're just joining in, oh, we need some olive oil in with this too. What we have here is purple cabbage with cilantro, olive oil, salt, MSG, give ourselves a decent amount of crunch to these. Go with that beef. Some roughage. That was maybe a little too much. Than made in a previous stream, we have chow chow, which is a sort of late summer pickle. We've got corn, we got pickles. This is pickled or a relish. We're doing steak, kids, then. These are hanger steak. Am I doing cheese? Nah. That was more than I intended, but We'll live with it. So was that. And then we got... what's the best plate for this? I guess. We got our fried, stuffed jalapeno poppers, homemade. Thank you, Soph. I think this turned out looking pretty delicious. I think it was a great suggestion. If you're still hanging out there, thank you for the suggestion tonight. Using up them sprinkle points to give me ideas of what to try and do new. Let's grab a photo of this for Discord and Blue Sky and everywhere else on Earth. The reality, I'm lucky if I even get to posting it on Blue Sky and other places. After eating and cleaning up, I'm just so beat that I never really want to bother with everything else. There we go. Let's give one of these a shot. See if these turned out alright. They feel like they're almost a little liquidy still. That's just about perfect. Not too hot. But if you're just joining in, the filling on my jalapeno poppers is a combination. I've made in the past a gochujang compound butter. So it's cream cheese, gochujang compound butter, and cilantro for the filling with jalapeno and our breading, a whole wheat crust. If you're unfamiliar with jalapeno poppers, I didn't think about that until just now. I know that I've mentioned before and people weren't familiar with them. They are very much an American bar staple. They're very easy to find frozen. They do all sorts of different fillings with them, but generally it's just a sort of simple cream cheese filling. Easy to fry. They're a big air fryer thing here in the States. I just decided to make some of my own because it was a theme. Alright, so I think this is where we are going to leave things for this fine evening. We got oil to clean up, We'll have some photos in the Discord of this later on. Blue Sky, Reddit, etc., etc. Things seem to be mostly successful with the changes in between the break. For anyone just new in here, I've just taken a couple of stream break. I don't normally take breaks. I normally do 4 nights a week, like clockwork, which I hope to return to doing. So I shall be back here on Sunday and Monday, both in the morning on cutting_glass, doing stained glass work, and here in the evening doing dinner on Chef Jay Tay. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Greatly appreciate you spending your time with me. We have Sunday. What we're doing on Sunday is going to be, I'm continuing the state theme. We're going to be celebrating Maine. I talked about it earlier. Going to be doing a mixed fry dish, which if you're unfamiliar with mixed fry, I was up until today. Think poutine, but a little bit looser ruled. And a fluffernutter, because Maine created the fluffernutter. Monday, I don't have plans in the calendar, but I do have plans to be here. I don't know what I'm going to be cooking for sure, but I hope you join me for that. Chips, cheese, great. It's chips. Traditional poutine is fries with cheese curds, beef gravy over the top. Mixed fry is a little bit looser. They'll sometimes use mozzarella. They'll use other toppings. They'll add meats into it, use exotic meats, use different exotic gravies. That's the plan for Sunday. Do something a little bit different with poutine. Let's see here. I don't see... Do we have anyone we're passing things off to here tonight? Nope, I think we're calling it right here. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope to see you on Sunday. Good night.